The morning air was quiet and cool when the sun slowly rose over the small village. At the edge of the village stood an old farm that had once been full of life. The wooden fences leaned to one side, the barn roof had cracks, and the fields looked tired and dry. This farm belonged to a man named Adam. Adam had lived on this land all his life. His father worked here before him, and his grandfather before that. The soil had once been rich, and the crops had grown tall and healthy. In those days, the farm was known across the village. People came to buy grain, vegetables, and fresh milk. There was laughter, hard work, and hope. But those days were gone. Adam stood near the barn, holding a paper in his hand. The paper was thin, but it felt heavy. It was another letter from the bank. He did not read every word anymore because he already knew what it said. The money he owed was too much. The farm had not earned enough for years. The crops failed because of bad weather. The prices in the market kept falling. Every month, Adam fell deeper into trouble. He folded the paper and placed it in his pocket. His shoulders dropped as he looked across the land. The fields were empty, with dry soil and broken lines where crops once grew. Adam felt tired, not just in his body, but in his heart. "I have nothing left," he said softly. A gentle sound came from behind him. In the barn stood Max, his horse. Max was old but strong. His brown coat had lost its shine, and his mane was mixed with gray. Still, Max stood proudly, his eyes calm and loyal. He had been Adam's companion for many years. When Adam lost his workers because he could not pay them, Max stayed. When neighbors stopped visiting, Max stayed. Adam walked toward him and placed a hand on his neck. "You and me, Max," Adam said. "That's all that's left." Max moved his head slightly and gave a soft sound, as if he understood. Adam smiled, but his smile did not last long. The worry returned quickly. That afternoon, Adam planned to meet a bank agent who would decide the future of the farm. Adam already knew the answer, but still, the thought of losing everything made his chest feel tight. Before leaving, Adam decided to visit the far field. It was the worst part of the land. Nothing had grown there for years. Still, Adam felt the need to look at it one last time, like saying goodbye. He tied Max to the old wooden cart and slowly guided him down the narrow dirt path. The wheels made soft sounds as they moved. Birds flew above, but the land below felt silent and empty. When they reached the far field, Adam stopped the cart. He stepped down and looked around. The soil was hard and cracked. Small stones covered the ground. No green could be seen. "This place is finished," Adam said aloud. "Just like everything else." Max stood still for a moment. Then, without warning, he pulled gently on the reins. Adam looked up, surprised. "What is it, boy?" Max stepped forward on his own and walked toward the edge of the field, near a group of rocks that Adam had ignored for years. The horse lowered his head and scraped the ground with his hoof. Adam frowned. "Max, stop," he said. "There's nothing there." But Max did not stop. He scraped again, harder this time. Dirt flew to the side. A strange sound came from beneath the soil. It was not the sound of rock breaking. It was deeper and solid. Adam froze. "That sound," he whispered. "That's not stone." He rushed forward and knelt beside the spot. Max stepped back and watched closely, as if waiting. Adam pushed the dirt aside with his hands. His fingers touched something flat and firm. His heart began to beat faster. Adam dug more carefully now. The shape under the soil became clearer. It looked smooth and even, not natural at all. Whatever it was, someone had placed it there long ago. "What did you find, Max?" Adam asked quietly. The horse stood calm, his eyes focused on the ground. Adam continued digging. Sweat formed on his forehead, but he did not stop. The more dirt he removed, the clearer it became that this was not a simple stone. It was something made by human hands. Adam wiped his hands on his pants and sat back for a moment. His mind raced. Why was this buried here? Who put it there? And why had Max found it now, on the worst day of Adam's life? Adam looked at Max and felt a strange feeling inside him. Hope, small but real, began to grow. You knew, didn't you? Adam said softly. You knew this place wasn't empty. Max made a gentle sound, almost like a reply. Adam stood up and looked across the field again. For the first time in years, the land did not feel dead. It felt like it was hiding something, waiting for the right moment to speak. Adam knew he did not have much time. The bank meeting was coming soon. Still, he felt certain about one thing. He could not walk away now. Whatever was buried here, it had already changed something inside him. For the first time in a long while, Adam felt that the land had not given up on him. And neither had his loyal horse. Adam stood beside the half-dug ground, breathing slowly as he looked at the flat object beneath the soil. His hands were dirty, and his heart was beating fast. For a long time, he just stared at it, afraid that if he moved again, the moment might disappear. Max stood quietly nearby. The horse did not move. He watched Adam with steady eyes, as if he knew something important was happening. Adam finally reached down again and brushed away more dirt. The object was wider than his hands and felt cold to the touch. It looked like a metal cover, old and worn, with marks left by time. Adam had never seen anything like it on his land before. This does not belong here, Adam said softly. He stood up and looked around the field. The rocks, the dry soil, the broken fence all looked the same as before, but now the place felt different. It felt like the land had been holding a secret for years. Adam went back to the cart and pulled out a shovel. He returned to the spot and began digging more carefully around the object. Each movement sent small waves of hope and fear through him. What if it was nothing important? What if it brought more trouble instead of help? Still, he could not stop. After a while, the full shape became clear. It was a square metal cover set into the ground. There was a small ring in the center, covered with dirt and rust. Adam wiped his hands and took a deep breath. Whatever you are, he said, you've waited long enough. He grabbed the ring and pulled. At first, it did not move. He tried again, using more strength. The metal made a low sound as it slowly lifted. A cool breath of air rose from below. Adam stepped back quickly, surprised. He leaned over and looked down into the opening. Beneath the cover was a dark space, deep and narrow. He could not see the bottom, but he could tell it went far below the surface. Max let out a quiet sound behind him. Adam turned. I'm fine, he said, even though his hands were shaking. He searched the cart and found an old flashlight. It barely worked, but it was enough. Adam turned it on and pointed it into the opening. The light showed stone steps leading down into the ground. Adam's mouth fell open. Steps, he whispered. There are steps. He stood still, trying to understand what this meant. Someone had built this. Someone had hidden it. And somehow, it was on his land. Adam thought about his father and grandfather. Neither of them ever spoke of anything like this. Still, the farm was old. Many people had lived here long before his family arrived. Adam felt fear rise inside him, but it was mixed with strong curiosity. If he walked away now, he might never know what this was. And he felt deep inside that this secret could be his last chance. He tied Max securely to the cart and spoke calmly to him. Stay here, Max. I'll be back. Max shifted slightly, but he stayed. Adam stepped carefully onto the first stone step. It was solid. He took another step, then another. The air grew cooler as he moved down. The sounds from the field above faded away. The steps ended in a small underground room made of stone. The flashlight beam moved across the walls, revealing rough marks left by tools long ago. The room was simple but strong, built to last. Adam's eyes fell on several wooden boxes stacked against one wall. His breath caught in his throat. He walked closer and knelt beside the nearest box. The wood was old but still firm. He opened the lid slowly. Inside were metal tools, coins, and folded papers sealed in oilcloth. Adam sat back, stunned. Coins glinted in the weak light. They were old, heavier than modern money. Adam picked one up and turned it in his fingers. He did not know its exact value, but he knew it was not ordinary. He opened another box. Inside were more coins and small metal bars. Not shiny, but solid and carefully stored. Adam felt dizzy. "This is real," he said aloud. "This is real." He leaned against the wall and tried to steady his thoughts. Someone had hidden these things here long ago. Maybe during hard times. Maybe to protect them. And somehow, they were forgotten. Adam looked around the room again. This place was not meant for danger. It was meant for keeping something safe. He gathered one small coin and one folded paper, placing them carefully in his pocket. He closed the boxes and made sure the cover above could be put back in place. Adam climbed the steps slowly, his legs weak from shock. When he reached the surface, the sunlight felt bright and warm. Max let out a soft sound when he saw him. Adam smiled, a real smile this time. "You saved me," Adam said, placing a hand on Max's neck. "You really did." He put the metal cover back and spread dirt over it, hiding the entrance as best as he could. No one else needed to know yet. As Adam drove the cart back toward the farmhouse, his mind raced. This secret could change everything, but only if he was careful. He could not rush. He could not tell the wrong people. The bank meeting was still coming. Adam touched his pocket where the coin rested. For the first time, he did not feel fear when he thought about the future. The land was not empty after all, and the horse had known it all along. That evening, Adam sat alone at the small wooden table inside his farmhouse. The lamp above him gave a soft yellow light. Outside, the wind moved gently through the trees, and the sound felt calmer than usual. Max stood in the stable nearby, quietly eating hay. Adam placed the old coin on the table in front of him. He stared at it for a long time. The coin felt heavy, not just in weight, but in meaning. This one small piece carried the promise of saving his farm or losing everything if he made a wrong move. Adam rubbed his face with his hands. His mind was full of questions. How much was the hidden treasure worth? Who could he trust? If people found out, would they try to take it from him? He remembered the bank agent he was supposed to meet the next day. The thought made his stomach tighten. The bank had no interest in stories or secrets. They wanted money. Real money. And soon. Adam stood up and walked to the window. He looked out toward the dark fields. Somewhere out there, under the quiet ground, was the hidden room. The land had carried that secret for many years. Now it was in Adam's hands. "I need to be careful," he said to himself. The next morning, Adam woke early. He fed Max and brushed his coat slowly, letting his thoughts settle. Max stood patiently, calm as always. "You've done more for me than you know," Adam said softly. Adam decided to visit the town later that day. He needed advice, but not from just anyone. In town lived an older man named Noah, a fair trader who dealt in old tools and coins. Noah was known for being honest and quiet. If anyone could help without causing trouble, it was him. Adam placed the coin in a small cloth and put it in his pocket. He locked the farmhouse and guided Max toward town. The road was dusty, and the journey felt longer than usual. Adam watched every person he passed, feeling uneasy. The secret seemed louder in his mind with every step. When Adam reached Noah's shop, the bell above the door rang softly. The shop smelled of old wood and oil. Shelves were lined with tools, jars, and strange items from many years ago. Noah looked up from behind the counter. "Morning, Adam," Noah said. "You don't come into town often these days." "I needed to see you," Adam replied. "In private." Noah nodded and closed the shop door. "Show me." Adam carefully placed the cloth on the counter and opened it. The coin lay between them. Noah picked it up slowly. His eyes narrowed as he studied it. He turned it over, checking the markings. "Where did you get this?" Noah asked quietly. "It was found on my land," Adam said. "Buried deep." Noah took a deep breath. "This is very old. And very valuable." Adam's heart began to race. How valuable? Noah placed the coin back on the cloth. "Enough to change a man's life if there are more like it." Adam swallowed hard. "There are more." Noah looked at him carefully. "Then you must be very careful. If people hear about this, your land will not be safe. And neither will you." Adam nodded. He already knew this truth. "I only need enough to save my farm," Adam said. "Nothing more." Noah's face softened. "That tells me you are thinking clearly. Listen to me. Do not sell everything at once. Bring only a little, slowly. And keep the place hidden." Adam felt a wave of relief. "Can you help me?" "I can," Noah said. "But quietly." Adam thanked him and wrapped the coin again. As he left the shop, he felt lighter, but also more aware of the danger of mistakes. On the way back, Adam noticed something troubling. A man he did not recognize stood near the edge of his far field. The man pretended to study the land, but his eyes followed Adam closely. Adam did not stop. He guided Max forward, pretending nothing was wrong. But his thoughts raced. Had someone seen him digging? Had the secret already begun to spread? When Adam reached the farmhouse, he checked the field carefully. The hidden spot looked untouched. Still, the feeling of being watched stayed with him. That night, Adam could not sleep. Every sound outside made him sit up. He went to the window many times, scanning the darkness. Max suddenly made a low sound from the stable. Adam grabbed his coat and stepped outside. Moonlight lit the yard. He saw no one, but Max was alert, ears raised, watching the far field. "Easy," Adam whispered. Adam stood beside Max for a long moment. The horse slowly relaxed, and the quiet returned. Adam placed a hand on Max's neck. "We protect this together," Adam said. The next day, Adam returned to the hidden room and carefully removed a small amount of what was stored there. He replaced everything exactly as it was before and covered the entrance again. He took the items to Noah, who sold them quietly over time. With the money Adam earned, he paid part of his debt. Not all of it, but enough to stop the bank from taking the farm immediately. The bank agent left that afternoon with a serious look, but no final notice. Adam stood in his field after the meeting, breathing deeply. The land still faced challenges. The debt was not gone. The future was not secure. But the farm was still his. And thanks to a loyal horse and a hidden secret, hope was no longer buried. Days passed after the bank agent left, and life on the farm slowly began to change. Adam worked from sunrise to sunset. He repaired broken fences, cleaned the barn, and tried planting small test crops in the fields that still had some strength left. The land was not healed yet, but it was responding. Max stayed close, always watching. Adam noticed something else too. People were passing by the farm more often. Some slowed down to look. Others stopped for a moment and pretended to admire the land. Adam could feel it in his bones. Curiosity was growing. One afternoon, a man named Leo arrived at the farm. Leo was known in nearby villages as a land buyer. He dressed well and smiled easily, but his eyes were sharp. "Nice place you have here," Leo said, stepping out of his car. "Even with all this dry land, it has potential." Adam wiped sweat from his forehead. "I am not selling." Leo laughed lightly. "Everyone sells, eventually. Hard times make people think differently." Adam felt a tightness in his chest, but kept his voice steady. "This farm stays with me." Leo nodded slowly, looking past Adam toward the far field. "If you change your mind, you know where to find me." As Leo drove away, Adam stood still. He knew this was not a simple visit. People like Leo did not waste time on land that had no value. That night, Adam checked the hidden place again. Everything was untouched. Still, he felt uneasy. He covered the ground more carefully than before and placed rocks in a way that looked natural. "You saved me once," Adam whispered to the soil. "Now, I must protect you." Over the next week, strange things happened. A fence near the far field was moved. Footprints appeared where no one should have been. Once, Adam found a small digging mark not far from the hidden spot. Fear began to settle in his chest. Adam went to Noah's shop again. He closed the door behind him and spoke quietly. "Someone suspects something," Adam said. Noah's face grew serious. "Then you must act smart. Secrets attract attention. You need a plan." "What kind of plan?" Adam asked. "Make the farm look normal," Noah said. "Struggling. Boring. Nothing special." Adam nodded slowly. He understood. If people thought the land had value, they would keep watching. That evening, Adam let some fences stay broken. He avoided improving the far field too quickly. He spoke openly in town about how hard farming still was. He complained about money and weather like before. It felt strange, acting weak when hope was finally strong inside him. One night, Max became restless again. He paced inside the stable, making low sounds. Adam grabbed his coat and lantern and stepped outside. Near the far field, Adam saw movement. A shadow crossed the ground. "Hey!" Adam shouted. The shadow froze, then ran. Adam chased but stopped at the edge of the field. His heart was racing. Someone had been there. Someone was searching. Adam returned to the farmhouse and locked the doors. He sat at the table until morning, unable to sleep. At sunrise, Adam made a decision. He could not keep everything hidden forever. The secret was saving his farm, but it was also putting it in danger. He needed a way to finish this without drawing more eyes. Adam met Noah again and explained his idea. "I want to use just enough to clear my debt," Adam said. "After that, I seal the place forever." Noah looked at him for a long moment. "Once you do that, your life becomes simpler. But you must move quickly." They worked together carefully. Over several days, small amounts were sold in different towns. Nothing large. Nothing that would raise questions. Adam paid the bank fully. The day the final paper was signed, Adam felt something heavy lift from his chest. The farm was safe. No one could take it anymore. Still, danger remained. Leo returned one last time. "I heard you cleared your debt," Leo said, standing near the gate. Interesting for a man who was almost finished. Adam met his gaze calmly. "Hard work and luck." Leo smiled, but the smile did not reach his eyes. "Luck runs out." "Not today," Adam replied. Leo left without another word. That night, Adam went to the far field with Max beside him. He opened the hidden place one final time. The room was almost empty now. Adam stood there in silence. "This helped me when I needed it most," he said softly. "Now it rests again." He sealed the entrance carefully, covering it deeper than before. When he finished, there was no sign anything had ever been there. Adam stood up and looked at the land. The moonlight spread across the fields. For the first time in years, the farm felt peaceful. Max nudged him gently. "We made it," Adam said, smiling. But deep down, Adam knew one thing. The farm was safe now, but the future would test him in new ways. Saving the land was only the beginning. The farm felt different after the debt was cleared. The air seemed lighter, and the silence no longer felt heavy. Adam woke up each morning with purpose instead of fear. The land was still rough in places, but it was his again, fully and truly. Adam no longer rushed through his days. He worked steadily, fixing one problem at a time. He repaired the roof of the barn, replaced broken boards, and cleaned the tools that had sat unused for years. Every small task felt meaningful now. Max remained by his side through it all. The horse followed Adam from field to field, calm and steady. Adam often spoke to him while working, sharing his thoughts aloud. It helped him think clearly. "This land almost broke me," Adam said one morning while mending a fence. "But it also saved me." Max flicked his tail and stood quietly. Adam decided not to chase quick profit anymore. He planted crops that matched the soil, not what the market demanded. He started small, choosing seeds that needed less water and care. The growth was slow, but it was real. Neighbors began to notice the changes. One afternoon, a farmer named Ben stopped by. "I thought this place was finished," Ben said, looking around. "But it looks alive again." Adam smiled. It just needed time. Word spread that Adam's farm was stable again. Not rich, but strong. Honest work returned to the land. A few villagers offered help, and Adam accepted only when he needed it. He paid fairly and kept his promises. Trust returned slowly. Leo never came back. The far field remained untouched. Adam kept his promise to himself and to the land. The hidden place stayed sealed and silent. He did not need it anymore. Its purpose had been fulfilled. One evening, Adam sat on the porch as the sun set. The sky turned soft orange, and the fields glowed quietly. Max stood nearby, resting. Adam thought about how close he had come to losing everything. The farm, the land, even his sense of self. The secret had saved him, but it was not the secret that rebuilt his life. It was patience. It was choosing not to be greedy. It was loyalty, shown by a horse who never left his side. As seasons passed, the farm grew healthier. Crops stood taller. The soil softened. Rain came at the right times. Adam learned to read the land again, just like his father once taught him. Adam began teaching local children about farming basics. Not as a business, but as a way to share knowledge. He believed the land should be respected, not rushed. One child asked him once, "How did you save the farm?" Adam paused before answering. "I listened," he said, "to the land, and to a friend who could not speak." The child looked at Max and smiled. Years later, Adam stood in the same far field where everything changed. The rocks were still there. The soil looked ordinary. Nothing showed what once lay beneath. Adam felt peace. He placed a hand on Max's neck, now grayer and slower than before. "You changed my life," Adam said softly. Max breathed calmly, leaning slightly toward him. The farm would never be famous. No one would write stories about it. But it did not need that. It had something better. It had truth. It had hard-earned balance. And it had a man who learned that real wealth was not buried in the ground, but built through care, courage, and quiet loyalty. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Adam walked back toward the farmhouse with Max beside him. The land rested. The future waited. And this time, Adam was ready.